What's poppin', everybody? Tara Lynch here with The Next Big Thing, the video cast sharing all things infotainment. Thanks for bearing with us. We had a power outage last week, but we are back, and we're excited to welcome Brendan Lebich of High Life Tech to join us today. Plus, we go over this week's top stories and trends. Let's jump right in. We begin with a bit of historic news to kick off our news bites. Former Vice President and presumed Democratic nominee Joe Biden announced Kamala Harris, the senator out of California, will be joining him on the presidential ballot as his vice presidential candidate. Now, Kamala Harris, if elected, will be the highest-ranking female black official ever and the highest-ranking Asian American official in the U.S. government. Now, these two, they battled it out in the Democratic debates, but they seem to put those feelings aside to join forces together. They made their first appearance earlier this week on Wednesday in Wilmington, Delaware. Let's take a look.
As I said, Joe, when you called me, I am incredibly honored by this responsibility, and I'm ready to get to work. I am ready to get to work.
Sputnik V is here. And no, we're not talking about a spacecraft in the space race to the moon, rather a COVID-19 vaccine. Russia announced that they have completed phase 2 trials on their vaccine and they are ready to roll this out to the public. They did not complete phase 3 trials, which is set to simulate the effects of the vaccine on a large population. That's making U.S. officials very wary, including Dr. Fauci. He says that we should hold out hope for American companies like Moderna. They are set to roll out a vaccine about the end of this calendar year or the beginning of 2021. So stay tuned for that. And we move into college football here in the U.S. Some teams will not be kicking off this fall, and those teams are in the Big Ten and the Pac-12. Both conferences have said no more to college football. They've elected to defer to spring 2021. The other Power 5 conferences, though, the ACC, Big 12, and SEC, have gotten the green light from their medical officials so far, so they are good to go. We'll see what happens in September with college football and, of course, the NFL. Being an entrepreneur takes grit, time, and a lot of energy. But when you add on being a college student, it can just seem downright overwhelming. Not for my guest, who is doing it all. I'd like to welcome in the CEO and founder of High Life Tech and sophomore soccer player at Ithaca College, Brendan Lebich. Brendan, thank you so much for coming on The Next Big Thing today.
Oh, thank you. It's a pleasure to be on today, and I'm really excited to share my entrepreneur experience while managing life as a soccer player at Ithaca. Once again, I just want to thank Tara for inviting me on today.
Well, no problem. Let's get right to it. So, tell us a little bit about High Life Tech. What is it?
So founded in 2019, High Life Tech is an e-commerce website that works with various brands to create customizable accessories. So essentially what we do is we work with clothing brands and individuals, and we take their designs to bring them to life in the form of accessories. We currently offer 5 customizable products: phone cases, pop sockets, lanyards, metal keychains, and rubber keychains. Since we began in 2019, we've worked with over 300 brands worldwide across the US, Canada, Europe, and even in some remote places like Ghana. And as we like to say, let's create something together from one creator to another.
Wow, 300 different brands. That number stood out to me. That is huge. And, just about a year old now. So that is such a large reach. What inspired you to create this business?
Well, it's actually crazy. So one day I was at club soccer practice with my friend, and his name was Connor, and he mentioned to me this idea of drop shipping. And what drop shipping is where you sell stuff online, your own website, but then when someone buys it, a third party fulfills it. So, and you never touch the product. So essentially it's like if someone ordered something from me on Amazon and then I just had China send it to them directly. So I took that idea and I kind of did some research after practice that day, and I realized that this was a huge potential and a huge marketplace that was growing fast. And especially now with COVID it's really been accelerated. E-commerce has accelerated drastically. So then I took that idea, and then within a month later, High Life Tech was born. Originally, the only product we sold was individual phone cases, and I was drop shipping those, and I never saw the cases I was making. But I realized that like I would have to sell a million phone cases just to make like a decent amount of money. So then I decided like, okay, I went back to drawing board. I was like, what could I do next? So then I thought, why not bulk orders? Why not work with brands, create accessories for them? So then I shifted everything over from individual to all bulk ordering. Started off with just phone case bulk orders. Then within 2 months, I added pop sockets. And then within 5, 6 months of being in operations, I added the remaining products, lanyards, metal keychains, and rubber keychains.
And you mentioned some of those products there. You have 5 that you said. What makes those products so special?
I wouldn't say it's that what makes the product special. It's our company that makes it special. So a lot of times when you talk to these brands that I reached out to, they know they can get these products other places, but it's the personal approach and the detail and quality that we put into all our products that makes us special. I mean, I talk to brand owners all the time, and they're like, "Oh, I could get these for this price," which is similar to what we give, but then they're like, "But you actually care about our company, and you're not just some big company that manufacturer that's just gonna make these accessories and then ship them out." And we really put pride in the details, and we do that through numerous ways. Like I'll always text customers. We handwrite individual notes with each order. We individually package all the products for the customer so they can easily reship it out. And we also always throw in extra samples, free extra products in there. And we're always working to just do the customer first approach as opposed to scaling.
Definitely those free samples. That's going to keep your customers coming back every time. I know I love getting a free sample when I buy something. So that's such a great idea. And let's switch gears. So let me ask you, how do you manage being the CEO of this company? You're a finance major at Ithaca College, and you're on the men's soccer team, the varsity soccer team. How do you manage all that?
So when I originally went to school, I got a lot of questions like, Brendan, what are you going to do with your company? Are you going to just stop it? And I was like, I was dumbfounded. I was like, of course not. And it wasn't as big of a challenge as I thought it was, but that's because I had the help of another person. His name is Io. He went to Buffalo last year. He's actually my designer and like my kind of head marketing guy. And he really helped out tremendously during the soccer season because he helped ship out all the packages for me, and especially with the like full schedule and soccer practice and the post office at campus only being open minimal hours of the day, he really helped out to really take the load off me. So I really didn't have to worry about much fulfilling and shipping, but that didn't mean like I still wasn't busy. It was still a struggle. So I always had to answer emails, answer Instagram direct messages, track the status of shipments to make sure there's no issue. So I will say it was a lot of sleepless late nights for sure, and a lot of early morning turnarounds with class. But if you really love like running the brand and like you love what you're doing, it's in the end it's worth it.
Passion is definitely so important. And as you look into the future, what does that look like for High Life Tech?
As right now, the goal is to just continue to grow organically. I guess when I really started, I didn't really think the potential of High Life Tech was so big. Like I figured I would sell with a couple brands, but recently struck some big deals with individuals and some big streetwear brands. Most notably Kevin Durant, Juice World, Little Dirk, Shadow Hill, Lonely Ghost, all some big time artists, streetwear brands. So I just hope to continue to build those relationships and build those deals. And then also I plan on adding a couple new products very soon, hopefully within the next week or two. But I'm really just taking it day by day because, like I said, I never really thought it would be so big. And now that I'm really seeing the potential here too, I don't want to overwhelm myself by adding too many products or just doing too much to where I can't monitor it anymore.
We'll definitely have to keep an eye out for some new products. Before we go, where can we find High Life Tech?
You could find it on social media at High Life Tech or on our website, highlifetech.co. And that has all our products there. Some individual phone cases we sell, some of our designs, some were created by IO, and some are with the helps of me. Check it out. Go to follow on Instagram if you want.
Awesome. Brendan, thank you so much for coming on The Next Big Thing today. We really appreciate it.
No problem. I appreciate it as well.
Thank you so much, Brendan, for joining me today, and congratulations on all of your success with High Life Tech. Okay, let's move into the trends we love this week, and we start with your favorite television competition shows. NBC had their first crack at live AGT this week on Tuesday, and it was pretty successful in my opinion. They had a virtual fan wall with fans tuning in from across the country. They even had applause playing for the acts as they finished, and some of the acts were remote. They had sets that were not in the studio, but other acts were on the AGT stage. So we'll see how this changes as AGT moves forward in their season. Other shows that are coming back, Ellen's Game of Games on NBC is set to start recording, and on ABC, Dancing with the Stars. So stay tuned to your TV because some of your favorite fall programming will be back. From the little screen to music. Some artists have elected to not release their albums during COVID-19, while others have released full albums during this time. I mean, look at Taylor Swift and Folklore. It broke so many streaming records. I don't think we have enough time in this show to go over them. Now, this year we were expecting new music from the Dixie Chicks to Lady Gaga, Alicia Keys, and Kehlani, just to name a few, and so many more. But we'll have to wait just a little bit longer. They have elected to wait it out and hope for the best. Now, why are they doing this? Well, it can impact their touring ability and their ticket sales on those concerts. And there's a lot of uncertainty with the fan experience right now. So we'll have to wait it out, but some good music is coming our way soon. As we said earlier, Kamala Harris will join Joe Biden on the Democratic ticket this November. But Maya Rudolph will be extra busy this election season. Now, why, you might ask? Well, she plays Kamala Harris in SNL, so we'll have to see how SNL will come back this fall and if Maya Rudolph will be joining them to poke fun at the senator from California. Here's a quick clip from the SNL Democratic debate earlier this year.
Aunt is back, baby. America's fun aunt. I'm also America's cool aunt. You know what? Let's not do that. Tonight, I'm not going to worry about the polling numbers. I'm just going to have fun and see if I can get some viral moments. Mama needs a GIF. Going to tell my kids this was Michelle Obama.
Our trend for you this week is all about imposter syndrome. So what is this? Well, it's believing that your success isn't earned despite working really hard for it. So here are some tips to cure your imposter syndrome. Number one, practice something new or something out of your comfort zone. You want to feel a little bit uncomfortable so that when you conquer this, you can remember that feeling uncomfortable isn't so scary. Number two, compare yourself to yourself. Put those blinders on, don't compare yourself to others, just look in the mirror and ask yourself, am I being my personal best? Am I going towards my goals? The third one, remember that success is not selfish. You can be successful. Go for your goals. Be driven, be determined. Go for the moon and the stars. But just remember that if someone tries to bring you down, just don't listen to them. And the fourth tip, go from being invisible to visible. So what does that mean? Well, share your success with others. They're going to want to hear about it too. Don't be afraid. You can post something on social media, on your LinkedIn, wherever that may be, because people will want to celebrate you. So hopefully these tips help and we can work on conquering imposter syndrome together. Okay, all you cool cats and kittens, that's all the time we have today on The Next Big Thing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Come back next week for more. Check us out on Instagram Reels as well. I had my first crack at that today, so hopefully it was all right. But remember, when you need the news that pops, I'll be here with the next big thing.